Good evening and welcome to the Securing Your Future Next Steps After Year 11 webinar. My name is Owen Bartholomew and I am joined by my colleagues Liberty Hand, Zara Lawrence and Ed Pantin. And we also have guest speakers from East Kent College, who is Rochelle, and NEAT Support Service, who is Tom. So just a bit of housekeeping before we get started. The webinar is being recorded and we will let you know when the Q&A box is open. Not all questions will be published if they are a duplicate or personal to individuals, but we will go through that nearer the end of the webinar. For in-depth queries, please feel free to email us at stayinintouch@theeducationpeople.org or on the number below that as well. So the aim of the webinar is for you to find out who are the education people, what options are still available to you or your young person, and what if you haven't applied or changed your mind, and what happens on results day and the next steps. So like I was saying, the speakers are the engagement officers who are my colleagues, and then we've got Rochelle from the college and Tom from NEAT Support Service. And the next steps after this are contact details for destinations, contact details for further support, and we're going to challenge any myths or misconceptions that you may have, and obviously the Q&A at the end as well. So this webinar will help you if you haven't made an application yet, you have changed your mind or are feeling unsure, you have concerns with entry requirements, you haven't sat any exams, you have only one offer for September, or if you would like to be more informed. So just a bit about meeting the team. So obviously there's some pictures there of my colleagues. So I'm top left, top right is Liberty, bottom left is Zara, and bottom right is Ed. So our goal is to help young people transition to the next step on their chosen career path. So this year, a lot of the young people in schools would have seen either Ed, Liberty or Zara. And we've delivered over 400 hours of support across Kent schools this academic year, and that includes post-16 pathways, information around Kent Choices and the application system, a bit about CV writing, employability skills, and the apprenticeships that are out there and available to you. Last year, we directly supported 748 young people with their post-16 transition, and that is in person as well, support from year 11 to year 12. I now will pass on to my colleague Liberty, who will take it from here.
Thank you. Yes, we thought we'd start with this slide. We thought it'd be quite helpful to start with some information that was provided by the Youth Employment Census last year, and it recorded that over 73% of young people said that they would go to their parent or guardian for support with careers information. So for any parents or guardians here this evening on the call, just to confirm, this is how helpful it is really that you're here to gain some more information for your young person, but also for any young people on the call as well, just to remind you about all those different sources of support that are available to you. So when we're looking at the different types of options that could be available after year 11, there are three main options that are usually open. They are sixth form, we also have college, apprenticeships, smaller training providers, which we are going to look at in a little bit more detail shortly, and also work alongside some accredited training. We have already held two previous webinars this academic year, which do provide a lot more information about all of these options. So if you'd like to look a little bit in more detail, please do watch our recordings, which are available on the Kent Choices website. I'll also remind you just at the end where you can find those. So we're now going to look briefly at the different colleges and provisions that are available in each area of Kent. And these are split into four areas. So North Kent covers Gravesend, Sevenoaks and Dartford. East Kent covers Swale, Canterbury and Thanet. South Kent covers Dover, Ashford, Folkestone and Hythe. and West Kent covers Maidstone, Tunbridge and Tunbridge Wells. So although this is where the provisions are based, this does not necessarily mean that you have to live in that area to be able to access them. So if you can travel from your home address to a provision in a different area, this of course could be open to you as a possible option. So I'm now going to pass over to my colleague Zara, who's going to go through which area, what provisions are on offer.
Thank you, Liberty. So just to start off with the South Kent then, in South of Kent there are 3 main college groups that all sit within the East Kent College Group. So we have Ashford, Dover and Folkestone, which all offer a range of vocational subjects including BTECs and T-levels. There are also other smaller training providers, so TMB, which offers hairdressing, Charlton Athletic and Folkestone Invicta for football and coaching, DeBase Music Organisation, Lighthouse College, which offers offers maths and English alongside other personalised sessions for work and life skills. There's also TCHC GAPS programme, which offers functional skills alongside sports, business, retail and employability skills. We also have Kent Training and Apprenticeships, and this is one that you'll see across the next couple of slides. They work all across Kent and they offer a work-ready programme with functional skills. Moving over to the west then, in the west there is North Kent College, Hadlow College and Mid Kent College, and Mid Kent College is split into 2 sites, one in Maidstone and one in Medway, whereas North Kent and Hadlow are based in Tunbridge and Tunbridge Wells. They both offer a range of vocational subjects, again offering B levels, T levels and A levels. Other smaller training providers include The View at East Street, Catch 22, Sports Connect and the Horizons Project that all offer bespoke curriculums including hairdressing, multi-trade, catering and sport. Next, we're going to have a little look at the north, and in the north there is one main college and it has campuses in Dartford, Gravesend, Tunbridge and Hadlow. And North Kent offers again a range of vocational subjects at level 3. There is also a college that sits just outside of Kent that is London South East Colleges, and there are many students in the north that find these ones easier to travel to, and they offer the similar courses to North Kent. There are also some smaller training providers that offer courses at a level 1 or a level 2, and some will offer maths and English as part of these. So for example, you have Superjam that specialises in music, Reynolds in performing arts, beauty therapy, fitness and personal training, and NACRO in childcare, construction, hair and beauty and public services, as well as their Work Ready course. Additionally, they have the TCHC that was mentioned on the south slide, which is coming soon to North Kent, again offering the functional skills alongside sports, business, retail and employability skills. And then last but not least, we have East Kent, and East Kent is made up again of the East Kent College Group, offering East Kent College Sheppey, Canterbury and Broadstairs. All 3 campuses offer a range of vocational subjects, again with those BTECs and T levels, but East Kent College Canterbury also have a 6th form available offering a range of A levels. You then have Liberty Training, which is a smaller training provider based in Thanet that offers a range of vocational courses from entry level to level 2, in addition to life, employability and vocational skills. And again, as with all the slides, you have KT&A. For all of the provisions mentioned in all of the different areas, you will find information more on these providers on the Kent Choices website. If your young person has an educational healthcare plan, an EHCP, we do advise that you get in contact with Kent County Council's SEN team for help during this transition process. The SEN team will be able to advise you on the different post-16s provisions available, as in addition to the provision that we have just seen, there are other alternatives that are also might be more appropriate. For a young person with an EHCP, in addition to their application, the KCC SEN team will need to raise a consultation to the chosen provider to ensure that they can meet the needs and offer the additional adjustments to your young person to access their education. The SEN team are also able to advise on any transport support that you might need. In order to contact this team, you can find out more information. You can visit the SEN Information Hub, where you will find their phone number or you can raise an online form requesting contact. Alternatively, if your young person is still at school for this final week, it is worth talking to the school SENCO for further advice. We just wanted to also take some time to highlight an additional service that might be beneficial to young people, and this is Kent Supported Employment. Kent Supported Employment is available to young people from age 16 onwards who have SEN difficulties or additional barriers, and that is with or without an EHCP. Kent Supported Employment help to support their clients into finding long-term employment, and this may be full-time employment or through an apprenticeship or supported internship. They can start right from the start with giving support for the application process of writing a CV, completing their application forms, preparing for interviews, as well as travel training and support in the workplace to get them started in those first few weeks. Their contact number and email address can be found on the screen now, so do take a photo or come back to this recording if you want to find those details later on. I'm now going to hand over to our first guest speaker, Rochelle Darcy, who is the Schools and Event Manager for East Kent College. Rochelle is going to spend the next 5 minutes looking at the college pathway and what your next steps in that application journey might be, as in addition to the support that might be available to you at college. Rochelle is specifically presenting the East Kent College Group with colleges in Sheppey, Canterbury, Broadstairs, Folkestone, Ashford and Dover. However, the college process and support is relatively similar across all of Kent, so we will discuss later how to get in contact with other colleges if you have more specific questions. Over to you, Rochelle.
Thank you, Zara. So as Zara just said, I'm covering 6 colleges across Ashford, Broadstairs, Canterbury, Dover, Folkestone and Sheppey. So we'll be talking about what that application process might look like for you on results day. So the first scenario might be that you get to results day and you have achieved 6 GCSEs at a grade 5 or above, so well done, and you have already applied to one of our colleges. This means you're going to be invited to an enrolment day at college, so that will have a specific date and time for you to turn up to a college to enrol on your course. When you turn up to that day, remember, you need to bring your proof of qualifications with you. So that might be that you have all your results on a piece of paper, along with any other paperwork the college has asked to see. This might include things like anything to do with your EHCP, if you have any exam access arrangements or anything else from your school that's going to help you enrol at college. Your offer on Kent Choices will then switch from conditional into unconditional, and we will enrol you straight on your course ready to start in September. So that is one scenario. So you may get to results day and your grades are going to be a little bit lower than expected, but you have already applied. My first advice is please do not panic. You will still be invited for an enrolment day at one of our colleges as well. So the same thing applies to what we just said before as well. Bring along any of that proof of all of your results that you've got with you and any additional paperwork, so exam access arrangements or anything from your school. If your grades are a little bit lower than expected, the tutor is going to look at your offer with you and place you on a course that is best suited. This might mean that you'll put onto a level 2 or a level 1 course rather than a level 3. This means that we can spend more time with you to get your confidence up ready for college, and you can retake your maths and your English if that's what you need to do. It means that we can fit you onto a programme where you're really comfortable and you're ready to take that next step into further education and your learning. And the next thing is, you may not have applied to college yet, but you think about applying once you get your college results because you think it's the right fit for you. The best thing you can do is contact one of our colleges because we will still be taking applications. However, I will warn you that some of the spaces might be getting a little bit full with people that have already applied. All you can do is look out on our websites for open enrolment days where you'll be able to drop into the college and speak to somebody there and find a course that is right for you. If you get to before results day, so in the lead up and you're thinking about applying to college, you can still apply for our colleges now through Kent Choices. You can go through Kent Choices directly or go onto our websites. And I encourage anyone to apply for 5. If there are 5 different courses you're interested in across any of our colleges, that's what you should do. As some spaces, like I said earlier, are going to get a little bit full. So if you apply for 5, it means you've kind of got your eggs in 5 different baskets as well. We also say make sure you look at your closest college as well. It's going to make travel on those rainy days a little bit easier, and just make sure the college is the right fit for you. So once you're at college as well, there is a lot of support available. So enrolling at one of our colleges means you can access this support no matter what. So we have wellbeing support in place. So a lot of our colleges and campuses have got qualified counsellors that you can register to have some time with. You can also have some time with people if you just want to talk to them, which would be your student mentor. There are wellbeing spaces available for you to be able to go and have a look at and sit down in, which can be a little bit quieter as well. There's financial support available, so you can apply for a student bursary. All of those details are on our website about household income and how to apply. Universal support means you have things like your student mentor and the students' union that you can go to. Once you have enrolled at college, once you start your course, if you're not quite sure it's the right thing for you, do not worry, there is something called 40 days of choice. So within the first 40 days, that's including weekends, from when you enrol, you can choose to have a look at a different course, and if there is space to move on to a different course that can be made for you, then you can move on to something different. So there's 40 days to make sure you have made the right choice for you as well. Over the summer, our campuses will have people around that you can talk to, but we encourage you to make sure you ring ahead just to make sure you can make an appointment with a careers advisor or somebody from an information and advice team as well. So we are available all over the summer just to help you through.
Thank you, Rochelle. So I'm now just going to take some of that information that you've been given so far and just put them through two very common scenarios that we see with young people over the summer. So the first scenario is going to be, what do I actually do on results day? So we know there's lots of confusion and sometimes some anxiety around what to do on results day. So the first thing is stating the obvious in some ways, but the 22nd of August is results day. So if you're waiting for the date, it is the 22nd of August. Now, as already stated, it's very important that you go to your school. You physically have to go to your school and collect your results. And a top tip already is to keep those GCSE results slip with you. So all those qualifications that Rochelle was speaking about earlier, about potentially when you're enrolling, keep those with you throughout the day is our first bit of advice. But you do have to go to the school to collect your results. Following that, you've opened your results, you're going to have lots of questions. In this case, this young person hasn't quite got the grades they needed. You may have other questions. Maybe you've overachieved, maybe circumstances have changed. Our first point of action and point of contact is to speak to your school. You're going to be at school, you've got that relationship with the school. Please speak to them first. So you're going to have careers advisors, teachers and staff all available to you on the day to speak to. So please don't collect those results and rush off. Take that time, speak to the staff, digest the information and identify next steps. After that, review your offers. So what have you applied for and how do your results match into those destinations? This is why it's so important that if you are in a position where you've only applied for one destination and you're not sure on your results, as one of the reasons of coming is that you are unsure on your results, then potentially opening up and applying to other destinations throughout the summer could reassure you on results day that you have more opportunities. As Rochelle already noted as well, though, it could be potentially you speak to your tutors at a college, if that's one of the destinations you've spoken to, and they potentially could offer you a different level. Please note that apprenticeships will be offered throughout the summer and advertised throughout the summer. So please make sure you're going to Kent Choices and going to our previous webinar as discussed by Liberty to get more information about how to apply for those. So some top tips on results day and potentially before results day is, again, speak to your chosen destination once you've got your results. These next 3 steps can be done over the summer. So before results day, can you create some new opportunities, some new settings? Do you physically need to go and accept those offers, or are they accepted online? Again, do your research, find out those. It will make results day much more or less stressful, knowing how to accept your position. And as noted earlier, please make sure that if you are physically going places to accept, take your results with you. And if with a bit of luck and following those steps, hopefully you can then celebrate and prepare for enrolment. So results day could be quite calm as long as you follow those steps. The second scenario we want to, if you need further support, there is again a wealth of places that you can go to. Feel free to take a screenshot here. Again, contacting the school, the college, the training provider, whoever you've applied to over the summer. Of course, schools are going to be difficult to get hold of, so that might have to wait until results day. But make contact with other providers. Again, we've got the Kent Choices website and the YouTube channel for you to take in more information. There's our contact details. And again, any questions, please get in contact. Now for the second scenario, again, results day on the 22nd of August, but this is for young people that may have not made an application, and this could be for a number of reasons. Maybe you haven't sat exams, maybe you just haven't quite found the right course for yourself at this point. First thing we'll say is you still have time. There's still opportunities available to you, but of course, if you want a nice stress-free summer, the quicker we can find your destination, the quicker you can do your research, the better you're going to feel. Where to look? Well, there's a number of places. Schools are still a contact for you if open and if available over the summer. So there's still that contact and looking at different sixth forms. You can use Kent Choices not only for sixth forms, but for information about colleges and about apprenticeships. There's Indeed, Amazing Apprenticeships, the National Career Service, and lots of other places to look. And of course, Zara's talked you through the large number of smaller and alternative providers that may be new to you that you can also contact. And again, we'll show you where you can get that information later. Please don't wait till results day to do this, or wait till the end of August or September. Start doing that from today. One of the reasons coming here today is you've begun that research. Start applying, start contacting those providers and creating some options going into September. The quicker that is done, the more opportunities there are, and the more less stressed you'll be over the summer. And again, following those steps hopefully will mean that you've secured a post-16 destination early as possible, end of July, beginning of August. You secured that destination and you have something to look forward to for September. Once again, if further support is required, there is a wealth of places you can gain that. Again, your school is going to be one of them, but again, they're closed over the summer. So instead, contact all those providers that Zara mentioned or any that you're interested in. You would have received a text, email, and potentially calls from the engagement officers. So that's Zara, Liberty, and I over the summer. So again, engage with us, have those conversations, or get in contact with us first. And of course, all the other places are available to you as well for support. Now, there will be times in our life and times maybe for young people and parents here that support may not be enough and we might not find the perfect destination. So with that in mind, we actually have another support service in place. It's the NEET support service. And we have Tom Campbell coming to speak to you about what we can do next if you are still in a position of not having a secure destination in September. So I'm going to pass over to Tom.
Thank you, Edward. And for anybody who's wondering, NEET stands for Not in Education, Employment and Training. And the NEET Support Service is commissioned from Kent County Council, and it's formed to support young people aged 16 to 18, so usually year 12 and 13 ages who live in Kent. Our focus is working with those who are not in education, employment and training, and we help them to identify any possible opportunities, offering advice and support to overcome barriers along the way. And we've got a short 2-minute video. It is about to come on now and done by one of our other workers who works in the north of Kent.
Hello, we are the NEET Support Service and we support young people aged 16 to 18 years old who are not in education, employment or training. Many young people from every type of background find themselves in this situation, so you are not alone. We offer one-to-one support, whether this be in person, by phone or email, and can help you identify short and long-term goals and make a plan to achieve these. For some, this might be all you need. However, we know that many other things can be a barrier. So we provide support, information and guidance to help you manage mental health, finances, addiction, relationships and a whole manner of issues. Don't worry if you don't feel ready or are not able to go into something straight away. We are here to help you to see a way forward. We have an advisor in your area who can help you no matter what grades you may have achieved or barriers that you may be facing. We will help you look at what skills and qualities you have and how these can be used going forward. We will listen to what you would like to achieve and support you to explore all the different options that may be available, allowing you to make the decisions on what you would like to do next. At some point in our lives, most people will find that they have a time when they are out of work, training, or education. If this happens to you, just remember we are here to help.
Okay, thank you. As I said, that is it's narrated by Bao, who's one of our workers in the north, and it just gives you a brief overview of what we do. Moving over to the next slide. Thank you. And we're just going to go through some of the questions that we come up commonly from young people. Through our interactions, we've found that young people and families have common concerns, and these are some of the major ones that are faced. So I can't go to college without qualifications. As you've already heard, prior qualifications aren't always necessary to go into college. However, it could be that without certain qualifications, you may need to take an initial course before being able to go on your first choice. Some people choose to gain these qualifications through training providers, which have been mentioned earlier. The NEET support service is available to discuss these options with you. So we would have the most up-to-date information on what type of courses and providers are available. It's also quite common that we hear young people saying, we can't just go to work. You may have heard during your time at school or elsewhere that you need to stay in educational training until you are 18 years old. And this comes from the Education and Skills Act 2008. Within this law, you can work, but to meet the requirements, you need also to be doing and studying towards a regulated qualifications. However, as a service, we recognise that this isn't always possible immediately, and we acknowledge that you can be building and developing other skills whilst working. Therefore, we prefer you to be doing this than nothing. What could happen is that we would speak to you about whether there is any way that training could be included to help you develop your career further. This may involve ways such as seeing if an apprenticeship could be created in your role, just as an example. We very often get young people not coming to us because they feel that they might be fined. So will we be fined? Although the law states that a young person should be in educational training until they turn 18, we have not yet seen any instances whereby fines are given. The guidance realises that it isn't always going to happen, and this is where the NEET support service come in. The guidance encourages those who are not in educational training to engage with their local support service, to be supported to learn of new opportunities and find suitable provision. Therefore, if you, as the young person, or you are the parent and carer of your young person, is in touch with the NEET support service, you are working towards meeting this requirement. Will our benefits be impacted? Benefits are not something that are under the control of or influence of the NEET support service, and we're not experts in benefits, so we cannot offer detailed advice. What we do know is that if someone is receiving child benefit for year 11 aged young person, a letter would have been sent asking what they're doing in September. If they're not continuing approved educational training, the benefit is scheduled to stop at the end of August. For those young people who have not found their next step at the start of September, it should be possible to receive an extension of up to 20 weeks of this child benefit whilst they are looking for a suitable opportunity. In order to be considered to qualify for this, the young person must be registered with the NEET support service. So if you do find yourself in that situation in September, when you contact us, we will be able to instruct you how to go about ensuring that child benefit continues. Thank you, Edward.
Thanks, Tom. We're going to open the questions now. So if you have any questions you'd like to put in, if there's anything that you feel we haven't already answered, please put those in the Q&A section, and one of my colleagues will start having a look through and hopefully being able to answer some of those questions for you. Just as a reminder, if you do have any more in-depth or more personal queries about your young person, please do contact us directly instead. The contact details are on the current slide. You can also, if you haven't got a chance to either take a picture of this or jot this information down at the moment, please just go on our Kent Choices website. There's a get in touch button, just click on that and you can contact us either by phone or sending in a message. So just while we're waiting for any questions to come in, I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, just a reminder about those other recorded webinars that we already completed in earlier on in the year. These are all available on the Kent Choices website. So the first has got information about the post-16 options and the application process. The second is more information really about apprenticeships, including information that our colleagues in our apprenticeship team who have more of an expertise in supporting businesses to take on apprentices. They were also at that webinar. They are available as a team if you know a family member or a friend who could perhaps take on your young person or another young person as an apprentice. They can help support businesses in doing that. So please do have a look at those other webinars if you feel you need some more information about post-16 options in general or specifically about apprenticeships. Details of the providers that Zara was talking through earlier in the webinar are also available on the Kent Choices website. If you go into our results day section, which is on the main page of Kent Choices at the moment, and click under each local area that we went through. We've also created what we call a what if letter, which we have provided to schools, and they will either send that out to parents, possibly by parent mail, so by email, or they may provide those as a paper copy on results day. If you haven't received this or you don't get that on results day, or you want to have a look at what the letter looks like now, again, a copy of this is also available on Kent Choices on that results day button. So further information, if you want to get any further information and help, what I would say is that if you have recently finished school, your school careers advisor is still a point of contact for you. Most schools are still open this week and some will still be open into next week. So what I would say is if you really feel you would like some further information and guidance, please do contact your school and hopefully you should be able to have a discussion with them or talk to them about your options and concerns. Also, please do get in contact with the school this week if you've got any questions about collecting your GCSE results on results day. So if you try and get in touch with them before they close of the summer, then you'll know what you need to do actually on results day. And other sources of information, we've mentioned Kent Choices many times. Again, there's lots of information on there, and again, our contact information. The National Careers Service, there's again lots of information on there about all different types of options, also for young people to do research about different careers. And also, again, if you wanted to get some more information and guidance about careers, you were able to book a careers and advice guidance consultation with a qualified person through the National Careers Service as well. And also there's a National Apprenticeship Service website. Again, we'll be able to offer you advice about all, anything to do with apprenticeships and also where the jobs are, many apprenticeship jobs are also advertised. So I'm going to hand back to either Owen or possibly Zara to see if there were any questions in the Q&A box that we can help with this evening.
Thank you, Liberty. Yep, so the first question that's come up is, can I enrol into 2 sixth forms? Hello, sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Zara.
Sorry, slight technical difficulty there. So the first question is, can I enrol into 2 sixth forms?
So I would say in terms of 2 sixth forms, now you'd have to make a decision between which sixth form you were going to. So obviously look at your first choice, go and speak to that sixth form on enrolment day, make sure you've got the entry requirements. And then once you've made your decision about which sixth form you're going to actually enrol at, you can let the other sixth form know that you know, you no longer need the place. But you can make applications for 2 different sixth forms, but obviously on enrolment day you'd need to make a decision about which one you were going to accept.
Wonderful, thank you. The next question is, are you required to include additional needs in your application, or can you tell someone in person?
For applications at any of our colleges, you do not have to include any of it on your application form. However, it is encouraged so that we can review it kind of in a holistic way. But you can then come and tell us in person as well. So if there's any paperwork that goes with it, bring it with you, just so we can make sure that all of those additional support requirements and stuff are put in place as well.
Wonderful, thank you, Rochelle. The next one, it might be best for Tom if you could answer this one. Is there any home learning options?
In terms of home learning, if you're asking, are there any courses available? At the moment, there is planned to be an online English and Maths course, which will be delivered across Kent by Kent Training Apprenticeships. Now, anyone who is home educated during Year 11, they can continue to be home educated during Year 12, and that they would need to contact Need Support and let us know that that is the intention. And then for child benefit purposes, they will need to inform the Child Benefit Agency. But the other home learning options we sometimes discuss, if that's all that you'd like to do, is some free courses that help you move forward. It's difficult to tell from that question if it's about home education or if it's about a young person who doesn't feel ready to go into a physical setting. If the second one of those is what's been talked about, I would say get in touch with Need Support and we will help you to find the best way forward.
Thank you, Tom. Yeah, absolutely. If you've got any further questions from this, do get in contact. You've got our contact details now on Kent Choices, so do kind of reach out and we'd be more than happy to find out some more details about your situation and give you a more precise answer to specifically for your young person. So the next question, I guess for yourself, Liberty, is I am predicted grades 4s in my English, but only 3s in my maths. Would I need to resit both?
No, if you've got if you've passed one of them, you don't have to do both again. So if you've passed, say, maths and haven't passed your English, it would be the English that you would need to look at resitting. So again, if you've been offered a college course, you may be able to sit that alongside your vocational course. I don't know if Rochelle wants to mention anything further about that to do with college.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so there is the option. So if you don't pass one of them, you will retake them. It is mandatory to retake as well. It's kind of worth mentioning. And it might mean that you're at college for an extra few hours a day, or your course will be extended a little bit just to give you the time to be able to do that maths and or English alongside your vocational course. The only thing with our college courses is if you are looking at going onto our sixth form or onto a T level, there's not the option to do your maths and English alongside it because it doesn't work with the timetables. So you, if you've applied for a T level but you don't get your maths and or English, you may be moved onto a vocational BTEC course instead to give you the opportunity to do that, get your maths and English, and then possibly look at progressing into the T level afterwards.
Wonderful, thank you. And then I think our last question for today is I'm not sure what I want to do as a career, so how do I decide what I want to do after year 11?
So again, I would say just making sure you do all the research that you can. So again, using those websites like National Careers Service, looking through Kent Choices at the different courses and things that are available. Just thinking about, you know, particular subjects that you might be interested in doing, any particular hobbies or interests that you have to consider a career option that might be good for you. That might be something that you're happy to do for the next couple of years. As I mentioned before, if you're able to get in touch with, if you just left school, your careers advisor at school, you can also have a conversation with them. Or please do get in touch with us directly. Again, either myself, Zara, or Ed will be able to talk through different options with you, have a further discussion, and look at what might be possible for your young person.
Wonderful. Sorry, go ahead. No, carry on.
I was just going to say, when we go into schools, we just say it's your first opportunity to really choose something that you want to do for yourself. And people would always throw this word career around it. It can sound a little bit scary, so kind of mimicking what Liberty has just said as well. If it's something that just looks interesting, it doesn't matter. You can do that for 2 years at college and decide actually it's not for you, as long as you're willing to commit to something for 2 years and get the most out of that experience. I think that's the main thing when you're looking at post 16.
Thank you. So I think that is all our questions for tonight. So all that's kind of left to say is thank you, Liberty, for answering those questions, and thank you, Tom and Rochelle, our guest speakers, for joining us tonight. If you do want to find any information out about our how we store your information or why we contact you, then feel free to check out our privacy notice available on the website. Again, you can find this link on the recording. And thank you so much for joining us this evening. Just to echo again, if you do have any specific questions, please do reach out. We'll be more than happy to have a chat with you, and you can either speak to ourselves or one of the NEET support team. But we really are here to help. We understand that this process can be quite confusing, it can be quite daunting and quite scary, and so any question, it's never a silly question, and do get in contact and we'll be happy to talk to you. So I wish you all the best with your evening, and hopefully we'll speak to some of you soon.